right, I think I've got it now. I was trying to download something, and I think it was too much for my phone to do all at once. So anyway, I don't know if anyone is here. I know, Suzanne, you were looking a couple of minutes ago. So I am going to attempt to make a Lampwork glass cabochon, so you guys can see how those are made, in case you don't know. I hope you will excuse the giant mess that I have here with my glass. I cannot keep this glass station clean. I just can't. So I kind of work in chaos in here, but I kind of know what I'm doing, so I can live with that. Anyway, hi to anyone who is watching, and I will first explain what I make these cabochons on, and these are cabochon mandrels, and they come in a variety of sizes and shapes, so you can make all different kinds. Right now, what seems to be the most popular are the long pointed ovals and hearts, and you have to have these things to create these cabochons. So I have my cabochon mandrels. I have an assortment of glass. My lamp working torch. You have to have a lamp working torch for this. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I have an oxygen concentrator on, which is providing me, I have natural gas that I have piped in from the house, and the oxygen concentrator makes the oxygen, so it's a dual torch, and you have to have one of these if you're going to melt glass. It has to be hot enough. So there is a substance that you coat your mandrels with so that the glass sticks to the, well, it comes off of the mandrel when they're finished. And I can't think of anything else to say right now. But anyway, just take a look at how I do it. I heat the mandrel up, put it in the flame. My hands are probably going to be in the way a lot of the time, but I will try to swing it out and show you what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I'm going to put my base coat of glass on right now. And these are just long rods of Italian Moretti glass, a Fettri, I think it's called, or Effetre. And you have to heat it up, warm them up. And a lot of times, the glass should be warmed up a little bit before you attempt to work with it, because it can crack and pop, and pop all over, pop on you, your clothes, your surroundings. So you want to warm that glass up a little bit first. You can see that it's starting to get molten right at the tip. Get a nice gather of glass right here. It's getting all soupy. That's just what we want. And then I'm going to lay it down on the mandrel that's been warmed. And just keep melting the glass. I usually do glass on the weekends. It's getting late in the day, though, for glass, because it has to go in the kiln to anneal, and it takes several hours in the kiln, and I like to have this all done before I go to bed. But it just occurred to me now to do this demo, and I should have done it when I first started, but oh well. So I'm just kind of spreading it on, softening it up and spreading it on as my base layer. And then I have a graphite marver is what this is called, and I'm going to smooth the glass. It can take the heat of the glass because the glass is really hot. And as long as you don't put the marver directly in the flame, it's okay. But it takes a while for that glass to really get nice and melty. So this just kind of helps me distribute, press it down and distribute the glass a little bit without any tools sticking to it. You want to get it nice and melted evenly, not trap any air bubbles in it. And that's what the marver helps to do. I have a fan blowing in the background, so it's kind of messing with my flame here a little bit. But it gets so darn hot in here. I've got the kiln right next to me. So between the flame and the kiln, I'm a little bit toasty. Okay, so you can see that I have the first layer of glass on here. Now I'm going to put another color in. This is a two-toned rod of glass. It's got an ivory, and it's supposed to be brown, but it looks kind of black to me. But I like to put this on the outer edges of some of my pendants, or cabochons, I mean. This glass is what they call very shocky, which means that it likes to pop a lot. So okay, so now I'm going to just kind of go around the outside edge. Put a layer in there. See, it's just outlined it. And pretty much all of the cabochons I make are just kind of random as far as how they turn out. I just pick up a glass I like and apply a little bit on, and I don't know, it's just kind of random. And I'm just kind of feathering it in the glass in the flame, because if you just stick it directly from cold right into the flame, that's when you get all the popping of the glass, and we don't want that. It's kind of mesmerizing, really. I let gravity do a lot for me too when I'm doing shapes. It really, if you just leave that in the flame, it'll all just kind of melt together. Let that do some of the work for you. Now I'm going to put some turquoise in here. I'm keeping my glass warm outside of the flame, but warm in the warm area, so it doesn't get chilled. If it gets chilled, it can crack. So you've got to keep a couple of things in mind while you're doing this. I'm going to lay a layer of the blue. Now I'm going to add another line of this ivory and brown glass right up next to the turquoise. And letting that melt in. Okay, and now I'm going to take, oh crap, oh, I guess this is, no, that's not it. Here we go. This is silver glass here, this bright blue, which I love this stuff. It's quite pricey, but it really has wonderful colors. There's a silver content in the glass. I do not have a clue on how they do that. And as I get close, to the end of the rod, I don't want to scorch my fingers, so I've got this little glass holder, which is a quite handy little tool. And it enables you to use up those little bits of glass instead of having them get wasted. It takes a little bit of time, so you may have to work at it a little while, but I chose a relatively simple one to demo. But then I hold it up and I look at it from all angles. I want to make sure that the top is even and smooth and sides as well. Nice and smooth, so that when you go to bezel it, you don't have any issues with the slope. And once you use the marver, you need to put it back into the fire, because the marver leaves little, what they call chill marks on the glass. And just another second in the glass, or in the fire, removes those. So then it makes everything nice and smooth. So as the bead starts to cool off, you can start to see the color coming out. I don't know how how well you can see it there, but it's kind of a two-tone in blue. Looks like the slope is good. Okay, and now I'm going to add some fine silver wire. I have it on a spool. This is 28 gauge fine silver wire. And I'm just going to put a little row of beading. This is always a little dicey because it's hot by my fingers. And I just put it on the bead or the cabochon and a minute. Okay, so then I stick it back in the flame after I put that line of silver on there, and now I have some fine silver dots on the top of my cabochon. And because I put the silver glass on here, it's going to change color when I reduce the gas and increase the oxygen, and that provides the right environment for the change in the color. And sometimes I get a color I don't like. I'm going for a metallic blue, and sometimes I guess it gets a little bit too hot and I don't quite get the color that I want. And so this little part can be a little futzy, but I try to stick with it as best as I can. If you over fire that silver glass, you're going to burn up the silver glass. So you got to find something and be happy with it and call it a win. So I'm good with this. And now it's going to go in the kiln, and it's going to be a few hours, like I said, probably around 10 o'clock tonight. I'll be able to open up the kiln and see what happens. Sometimes the color changes a little bit, so sometimes when it goes in, it doesn't quite come out the way you thought, but most of the times it's good. So let's see. Yes, I have my didymiums on. This is a terrible picture of me, but I'm just like a slob on the weekend. So, well, most of the time. but yeah, that was yeah. You have to wear didymiums to protect your eyes. The flares from the glass it can really ruin your eyes. So, okay, guys, do you have any questions? I don't think so. I better pop this in the kiln. Hang on just a sec. Okay, the kiln is packed. Like I said, I've been working on beads all day, so it'll be fun when they all come out. So, all right, so was there anything? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I just thought as long as I was doing this, if I could get the camera set up over here, you could see what it is, because if you don't know, if you don't have a clue on how they're made, it's a big mystery, and really it's not. It's just you got to have stuff. You got to have all the right kind of tools and things. So it's something I really found that I really enjoyed. I didn't start off as a lamp worker. I was I've done a lot of different things, but while I was doing enameling, I have a group of friends that we get together with on Fridays, it used to be that we were getting together here at my studio, but since COVID, we're not doing that. We just meet sometimes on a friend's patio. But anyway, when several years back, maybe 5 years or so ago, we were meeting at someone else's garage, and she had a lampworking studio set up in there and extra torches and stuff. And I would bring my enameling stuff over. It was like I didn't want to learn another thing, you know, and get all the stuff for another thing. So I would bring my enamels over, and while they were torching their beads, I would be torching my enamel, and all was good. And then one time, sometime later, I was thinking, you know, I've got all these people who know how to do glass. And they're willing to teach me. I really should try it out. So I did, and I haven't looked back since. I just decided I loved it. Beads, not so much. Beads take an incredible amount of skill, and I just have too many other things that I like to do. So when I discovered that I could do cabochons, I thought, boy, you know, I like this. So I've been doing them ever since, and I'm really happy that I took the plunge and I bought the stuff, and it's all worked out really great. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys, and I posted a little earlier about the project that we're going to do on Wednesday, and that ought to be a lot of fun, and I hope to see you then. My dad is having a small procedure done on Tuesday, and as long as everything is okay, then I should be able to do Wednesday at 2:30 as usual. If anything comes up, I'll let you guys know. So see you on the group page on Facebook, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.